Oh my dear. Uh, why is it doing that? Um, fine, but apparently not. Um, okay, now we're back together. Sorry about that. We were having technical difficulties for some reason that it just wants to argue with me today. But like I was telling everyone, this is Unleashing the Best. I told you guys that we had Matt Clock be a part of our show. He's blessing with their time, even dealing with us with our tech issues that we're having. Work keeps shrinking and growing for some reason. Um, but this man right here is the man of the hour. We're going to go ahead and play his music after because it's so incredible. You've heard his music on our shows throughout the entire week. Remember to keep sharing this. So this, you already got to know his voice. Now you're going to know him as a person. So we're going to go ahead and start with our first questions. The first question we have is, what got you into music in the first place? What pushed you in that direction? One second. We couldn't hear you. That's what they're trying to say.
Okay, cool. Everyone. Oh yeah. So the question, yeah. So what got me into music? I would say I was really just exposed to music constantly as a kid. My dad was always playing something on a device, the boombox in the car, wherever we went. I went to several shows. He was a huge Bob Dylan fan, so I went to quite a few Bob Dylan shows. And from there, I just ended up getting my own CDs and fell in love with music so hard that I just wanted to do it. It became more than just listening therapy; like I had to do it. But it all started with just guitars and drums, like physical instruments. It never started as rap. I do a lot of acoustic stuff too, but yeah, it just started out as instruments and just wanting to play. I got this piece of shit fucking first act from 19 whatever else, and played that until I could afford my own guitar. Got that, and kind of went from there, man. Formed an acoustic duo in like 2009, 10, just after I graduated, and we had an acoustic rock band. My buddy Jeremy and I. It's actually all these posters over here. Um, for about 10 years or so, we did acoustic rock all over Erie, Sugar Locks, uh, most local bars, stuff like that. And then after I had a kind of a big shift in my life, I was no longer doing acoustic music. He had moved. I had moved on. We just kind of went separate ways. And I didn't. I don't know. Not that I fell out of love with acoustic music, but I just wanted to do something different. Like I wanted to have my own style, my own appeal, my own because I kind of established myself as an artist. So I started figuring out a way to brand myself, and it was really hard trying to get like band members together, different schedules and all that stuff. I'm like, you know what? I want to try and do something on my own because I only have me to be responsible for. I only have me to answer to, me to schedule, so on and so forth. So I started. I had this cheap ass beat program on this computer I messed around with for a while, and my wife was like, "I mean, it sounded like you could do something cool if you actually had decent equipment, you know." So other people saw my beats and liked them and stuff. So the production thing started going off at first, and then a buddy of mine I sold a beat to was like, "Hey, why don't you feature on this? Is the one I'm going to buy from you?" And I'm like, I don't really rap, you know. He's like, "Well, just try it." Honest to God, tried it that night, and I blew myself away. I mean, I'm not like the best thing since hot bread, but for never doing it before, I thought I'd fairly impressed myself. Like, maybe I should pursue something like this, and then it just kind of went from there. Made my own brand, my own name, my own identity, the whole story behind it. Just kind of went from there.
So, how did Maclock come to mind? What gave you that as your name?
So I realized once I had shifted my career from like acoustic and rock to hip hop, I had already been like 28, 29 years old, and I'm 32 now. So I'm like, I'm getting up there in age. I realized like you don't always have forever to do this shit. You know, you're on a timeline. You don't have forever to make it, and then maybe making it isn't the goal, but making something of yourself musically is something I definitely wanted to do. And I was like, I'm running out of time. Like MAD is me against death's clock. That's an acronym. It's the way I've kind of designed the whole idea behind it because it is. I'm racing against the clock to do this before I can't anymore. Not that I'm getting old, but I mean, time isn't free. You know, you can't manipulate. You can't get it back once it's gone. Just time itself is an anomaly. So it just kind of took its own brand.
And I've been a big fan of your music, and we've been playing it a lot throughout our shows throughout the week. And not only I also seen that you don't only just cover the rap genre. What they don't know is I actually played one of your songs that you were playing acoustic on your guitar, actually unleashing the best the week before, because you actually, like you said, you have the background in different genres, which I think that also helped makes you even better of a rapper, because now you already got the experience from the past music to help you push forward. And not only that, if you want to go ahead and jump out of your genre now, you already know the know-how. So my question is for you: for these newer artists coming out there, what can you tell them about mixing with genres? Which should they know first?
Um, like you said, the no joke, that me having a different background altogether, trying to like attempt or approach a rap, you know, style of music, it automatically made me different and unique, you know, and that's about blending genres. That's where the unique sound comes out. Take like Animals as leaders. You know, they have a very jazz and bluesy background technically in the way they're versed in guitar, but they just put it all into metal. You know, there's all these different kinds of. I mean, Public Enemy back in the day was, you know, the first kind of hip hop rock fusion anything anyone had ever seen. And I've never, it's very rare I find someone trying to blend a genre that it sucks. It just makes this beautiful, creative, insane sound that you just don't want to stop listening to. So yeah, any advice to that? I would say don't be scared. Like let it rip. Don't hold back. You know, if you're like, wow, country and dubstep would probably sound dumb together. No, try it. You have no idea, and there's a market for it, guaranteed.
So you are now signed with Brutal Business Entertainment, and who helped you get there? How did you get in with Brutal Business Entertainment, and how have they been treating you?
So I found Patrick. Actually, it was just after he had taken over the label from the previous gentleman. I can't think of his name at the moment. Garrett, I want to say. Don't quote me. But I had found like the first video they had posted on their page where Pat came out and was like, "Hey, he's stepping down. I'm taking over the label, the ownership, this and that. I'm excited. You know, I've worked really hard for this." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And you know, a lot of the time when you see someone say like, "Oh, local independent label," it's honestly like 5 or 6 dudes just running around talking shit. You know what I mean? Like, "Oh, we're a label, we're red, blah, blah, blah." And it's okay. I mean, have dreams and aspirations. I'm not fucking dampening anyone's parade. But I mean, to like really establish yourself as a label that people will take seriously and book for venues, I mean, you have to have some kind of credibility for that shit. They don't come free, you know. Now, and especially with the way that rap is looked at nowadays, especially in my area, it's almost impossible to get a show at a bar if you're rap. They just don't want it around because it's caused so many problems. In my area, anyway, I'm not speaking for the general population. In any case, yeah. So I started digging, like, okay, that sounded legit. You know, like the dudes, like they're handing over ownership. So I started digging, and they just from get constant content production. They're always working. You know, Pat's very involved with the artists. They're always coming up with new ideas and ways of doing shit, and they have so many different tiers within the company that they organize and handle all eternally. When Pat first threw me in like just a Facebook group chat, I tell him this all the time because it blew me away. There's like 30 fucking people in that chat on Messenger, and I was like, whoa. And everybody talks. Like we're all involved in each other's shit. You know, like it really is like a family. You hear it's a cliche, but just me from the outside looking in as a newcomer, I was just like, well, I feel right at home. I definitely feel right at home. And they're always supportive of the ideas. I talk to Pat regularly. I mean, to talk to the owner of a company on a regular basis is not a common thing. You know what I mean? He's very, hey, what are you guys doing? You know, you need promoted. Like, what do you got going on outside of, you know, the music thing? Like, he's just involved. It's very well welcoming. It's very comfortable. And I definitely feel at home.
So
Yeah.
as if everybody doesn't know, if you're watching us, we're up at, you know, that was one of our first sponsors, and that's when we met Patrick, and he contacted us. He's like, I like what you're doing. I'm gonna help you the best I can. And the reason why we look like we do now is actually because of Patrick and all the people he brought to us. Demo Demo Demon is the one that actually made Breaking the Mold logo. So, and they were teaching us, and this is why we are to where we are. We still have some mistakes, and for some reason, Skype is hating me today, so it's kind of like moving you around on the screen and expanding you. But, you know, besides that, we want to tell you thank you, you know, especially even because they're one of our sponsors, that you actually took the time out of your life to come talk to us. And it's just amazing that we're able to help, you know, artists like you get out there and actually have a voice, and, you know, to more and more fans, because I noticed the more and more I play the song that you did with Faith Ann, I know that that song is starting to pick up in views and stuff because now everybody's starting to hear it. And actually, and that's our whole goal here, is to help artists like you have your stuff heard, not just around your group, but the world. So, do you have any future albums or tracks that you're actually currently working on?
Yeah, I have a lot of irons in the fire at the moment. So I'll try to keep it as short as possible without going because I get the drone on. But anyway, I have a full album release. I usually do one full release a year. With COVID, everyone was like, "Oh, you know, we're not gonna be able to do this, and do that." And I was already writing a bunch of acoustic stuff, so I threw that old me album together as content to have that was easy to record, easy to promote and put out. I didn't have to like make beats for it. I just already had the riffs and shit. I just sang over. I made the songs, boom, bam, done. Some of them songs I'd had for 7, 8 years. I just never put them out. For those of you who don't know that. But anyway, yeah, that was a quick. I put that out in April, like peak pandemic. Everyone's like, "What are you doing? You're not gonna make any." I'm like, "I don't care. I want to make music right now." It's like this is what people need right now is fucking music, so I'm gonna give it to them. So after that went through, I started thinking, going on, like I don't want to just do acoustic. I don't want to just do hip hop. I want to produce and put out both, and don't be scared. Never be tired, you know. So after I found Pat and I signed and all that, he's like, "Yeah, like do whatever, do you." So he's very encouraging of doing the multiple genre thing. So I already have something lined up next year for an acoustic thing, which I'll get to in a minute. But the most recent thing coming out is in April. Hopefully, COVID pending, I will release my third full. So yeah, third full release as the third full hip hop release. Devils Never Cry. So I got a bunch of the production, all the production's done. I have a few of them wrote. Hellfire is a single that I'm doing a music video for. Hopefully, it will be done by February, March. COVID pending again. I have a whole production team for that. Brutal Business is more than pulled through to help me accomplish things for that video so far. We haven't even started filming yet. The things that I would never thought I could accomplish without having to at least film. There's, you know, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I can help. We can do this, and it's just like it's all coming together almost seamlessly. So I'm gonna knock on wood now. But anyway, yeah, I'm very excited to get that done. The Babes are involved in that video, by the way. Hopefully, Demo, I can get him in there somehow. I want to do like little cameos of everyone in BB that can be there and to do it. I don't want to reveal too much about the video because it's really, really cool. And I'll do little clips and little teasers and stuff we get filming for the release and stuff. But yeah, as of now, the Hellfire video and Devils Never Cry releases hopefully April.
Oh man, we can't wait for that. We're over here itching hand because we know we share about as much as Brutal Business has to offer, even from the side and for the bands as well. And we get excited every time you guys have a new post about your guys' music coming out. And then when I found out that you were coming out with your music, I'm like, why haven't I heard of them? So I start looking you up, and I'm like, damn, why didn't Patrick tell me you had him? Because honestly, the last artist that we actually did an interview for through Brutal Business Entertainment was actually JJ Hollow, and that was when we very first started, and it didn't go too well. And then we had Bella and Still. Uh, we're actually booming because a lot of people are liking what we're doing for other people, and like today's strictly, well, you disappeared. There you go. Now you're back. So, so basically, for you to come on and with Splash Switch Time and stuff, there's a lot of new artists that are actually listening to this so they can improve their craft. Because that's how you get better. You have to learn somehow, and I think it's awesome for artists like you to come on in and most definitely give some of your talent and some information so they can improve themselves. So, my question for you, from being a rapper, how do you feel about mumble rappers?
It's funny you mention that because Hellfire, the single for the new album, is just attacking that entire. And I have separate before the Volume of Secrecy, my latest hip hop release. It directly relates to me coming after the mumble rappers in the sense of like, just stop. You just need to stop. You just need to stop. No other way to put it. So yeah, I don't like it. I think it gets way too much attention, and it's so people like it. Cool. I mean, they made it huge, but I think their message has internally destroyed the hip hop culture and destroyed the music scene in general. Over saturation of content, of dumb content to begin with. Just it bothers me, man. It rubs me the wrong way. And the guys like us that, okay, I've been rapping like 3 years. Everyone's like, get in line. You don't fucking know what you're talking about. Well, you ain't been here when this dude was here. I don't really care, man. That's an asshole thing to say. Cool. I don't really give a shit. I'm here to do me, what I want to do, and give people that like my music something to believe in.
I think because artists like you out there who are actually, homing in on your skills and actually getting a message across will have a lot more fans backing you than somebody just liking your music. Because with your type, when artists come out, you can clearly hear what they're saying and you can hear the raw emotion behind every word. That gives something for more people to connect with besides Gucci.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's all they rap about is like material shit and women and cars and money. Half of them ain't even got that shit, and people just buying it hand over foot. I don't rap about that. I don't rap about cars, money, girls. I rap about real life. I rap about struggle. I rap about accomplishments and goals and family and things that people can connect with that are like everyday real people. I'm not some dude on a pedestal. Like I'm a real fucking person. Like I'm a real dude, just like everybody else.
Which is amazing that you actually came out and said that, because we've had a lot of other amazing artists on here too. But it's nice to find artists like you that actually give music to the fans where we can actually have something to relate to, and just because for me, I don't really talk about my emotions, but when it comes to music, I can do my statement, and that's when like that song that you actually did with Faith and actually fit my life and me to a perfect T. Like,
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's about the push and pull of a constant relationship, the sacrifices you have to make. It's not always going to be pretty, but like, what are you willing to do to make it work?
And like songs like that and artists like you, we value highly. And so just remember that if you're a new artist watching, you're trying to have your music on here, yes, we will go ahead and play it, even if I don't like it because somebody else might. Know that BTMX truly likes artists that actually put, wordplay into it. They're putting emotions into it. They're trying to come up with something more than just 3 words throughout the whole song. We let.
So it's funny you mention that because like the one line in that song that everyone keeps coming back to, and when I wrote it, I like stopped and had to catch my breath. Was that though it's the last line in the bridge where I say, "Yeah, I loved you back when we were kids, but I'm not even sure that I know what love is." Like it just hits, and like I had other people hear that and they just started like tearing up, like, "Wow, that hurts!" Like it hurts. It hurts to even rap that on stage because like everybody's felt that shit, man. You know what I mean?
That was like just as soon as I heard that, I'm like, I'm gonna have to listen to this over and over and over again. I'm like, oh damn.
I love being able to deliver that. That's my goal as a musician. I want to deliver that moment in every song. I just want to deliver that moment of, wow, I felt that so hard. And you connect in almost a cosmic level. You know what I mean? Nothing else matters in that moment. Not your job, not your kids, your problems, your wife, the bullshit. That's your release. That's your moment of peace and priority to yourself. Is that moment in something I can give, in a sense, like I can give someone that with my music? That's awesome.
Well, you really did a great job with it, and all your songs so far. And noticed each song has its own little kick in the ass part of the song that you're trying to get a message across. So you definitely are like doing a Da Vinci Code over there with whatever you're doing. So the other question we have is for newer artists watching you, do you collab with new artists at all, and how would they go ahead and about contacting you and doing collaborate on their CD or with you with future stuff?
For sure. My area that I'm in Erie, Edinburgh area. I mean, it's kind of like a dick contest around here. Like, if you're cool and you're halfway decent, nobody wants to mess with you. So, I mean, I don't really do a whole lot of collabs in my area, but it's very important to branch out and network and collab with people because you're going to learn something from somebody no matter what. If you vibe with someone on the littlest piece of whatever, like, give it a shot because you guys can make something magical. I do have a current collab releasing at the end of the month, I believe, somewhere around there with another artist on BBE label. I'm not going to announce, I'm not talking about it, but it will drop. I was sworn to secrecy. So, but there is a collab with me coming out before the end of the year with another artist on the BB roster. It was my first collab with someone that had like asked me to do a collab, which is like blew my mind. And he was like, I mean, it shouldn't. You're a dope artist. And I was like, bro, yeah. Like, I don't know. I'm still not used to that kind of shit. I don't really look at myself. Not that I look at myself like a trash artist, but I'm not like, I'm God level. I'm blah. Like, I don't. I just like my style, and I like doing my style of music. So when people like want to do that style of music with me, or want to find out how to move their way of doing music with mine, I'm all about it. But yeah, definitely advice to new artists: don't ever be scared. If you're like, I don't know, give it a shot. If it doesn't work out, you can respectively walk away from each other. It didn't work out, but you have to try.
So, if you're just joining us over here on Instagram, and Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, we're definitely doing an interview with Matt Clock himself. If you missed it, you're gonna want to go to the back to the beginning after the end of the show and go ahead and watch this. Brutal Business Entertainment is an amazing sponsor of ours, but they have brought this man out onto the scene where he's going ahead, and if you go ahead and listen to his music, like I'm saying, not just butter up to him, but honestly, every song he has a line in it that automatically makes you think about the emotion that he's going through while making that song. And then for newer artists, he just told you about collaboration. He's willing to collaborate, but at the same time, he doesn't think he's on God level. He's not a titan. What he's asking for people to understand is, catch me if I'm wrong, is he believes in what he's doing. He loves what he's doing. And if you love what he does, he'll work with you. But he's not up on a pedestal. He's a human being just like the rest of us. He's kind, he's caring. But you have to also, if you're going to come to him and wanting to do something, you're going to have at least the same drive he does, right?
Right. Yeah, I work incredibly hard. The person I did the collab with was actually quite surprised at my turnaround time, and which I get excited over the littlest shit. I'm like a squirrel chasing cars. I'm like, oh, shiny. But I mean, when I got my mind on something, I attack it till it's done. I mean, I'm gonna chase the antelope till I eat it. So when he told me like I got this beat, I heard it, I was like, oh my, yes, now. So like I'm at work with headphones in on the forklift, like listening to the beat in my head and doing my thing. Like it has to be a constant like absorption. So yeah, it's great, man. It's a blast. But yeah, you have to like work at it. It's not, oh, I'm gonna sit down and like you could set it down. It depends on everyone's different. Everyone has a writing process is different. Fine. But to do this on a serious level, to market yourself and try to monetize and try to get your stuff out there, it is constant work. I raised 6 kids. I work 40 plus hours a week, and I do this full time. There's no excuse. You want it bad enough, you'll do it.
So the next question I have is: do you still make beats and do you sell them?
Yeah, I mean the beats. It was like a bunch of friends that it was like, oh man, I'm your homie. Like you gonna charge me? I was like, all right, fine. Like I let a bunch of them go, and then I started investing a lot of time in my own production for my albums and stuff. So I mean, at this point, I'm gonna have like you're gonna have to like give me a price before I take time out of my because I'm like so into this album right now, and probably in the future just going to keep creating content that I don't see in a foreseeable future of me being like, I don't want to do my own music anymore. I'm just going to produce. So if you want a beat for me, like all my own songs are my production. I produce every single beat from the Volume of Secrecy, Time's Up, the new one, this Devils Never Cry. It's all me. I don't like other people's production in a sense that my style is so unique in a way that I like just molding my beats around what I do lyrically. It's just more convenient for me. I don't struggle as much writing. It's more comfortable. Everyone's different, fine. But if you want a beat for me, it's going to come with a price at this point because, I mean, I don't really have the time. I will put immense amount of. I want to know what your style is. I want you to give me references. I want you to tell me what kind of bars you spit, content wise, so I can create you a real beat that fits you. Because that's what I do for myself. I don't just like throw tracks with a hi hat and kick and snare and a synth and be like, cool, I'll just rap on it. Like, no, there's some serious thought that go into my production. As you can tell, it's kind of layered. A lot of slams, a lot of peaks, a lot of synth swells. There's a lot going on. You know what I mean? There's a lot of shit going on. So, I mean, I can give you a dumb watered down version. I can give you that super hype saturated version. I can do a lot of stuff. I can do a few different styles. But yeah, it's gonna cost.
So, so everyone hearing, if you want to beat, it's going to cost you. And that's just common sense, especially with him having to work, taking care of children, also making all his own production for himself and the music. And as you can see, that he's trying to have production done way before it's ready, so he can absorb. The way I'm understanding it is you play a song, the beat over and over and over in your head, until you know exactly what you're going to say on the mic, so there's nothing else to do.
Right. Yeah. I'll sit in the studio. It's like my kids, I share my studio as like a movie theater room kind of with my children. So they're in and out sometimes. During the day, I work a 9 to 5. So they're in here like using my computer for schoolwork and all this other stuff. So it's a shared network thing. But sometimes I have to listen to a beat because I'm in a writing session. And I got to play this damn thing 30 freaking times. And my kids are like, Dad. I'm like, sorry, guys. You don't like it. You got to beat it. Like, it's just the way it is right now. So, I mean, I have studio headphones I can use, cool, but in the moment, I like that environmental bouncing off my walls. I want that raw feel. It's where all the emotion comes from. I feel like sometimes when I put headphones on and I try to write, I just feel like closed off from everything. And I feed off energy. I feed off reality and what's going on around me. So I like feeling and hearing and having, the car drive by the window and distract me while I'm trying to write so I can just feel like alive and in the moment.
So the question with that is also, does it help you perform it live better as well? Because you know what you're
Absolutely.
sounding like.
That's okay. Let's just touch on that topic for a small second. I'm absolutely appalled at 80% of hip hop live show from these like local dudes or from they're atrocious. Do you tell me you rap over your own lyrics? Stop it. It's embarrassing. Stop it. I mean, I'm not an asshole. I'm not going to discourage anybody from doing what they love to do. But I'll tell you what, you better not call yourself a serious artist. You better not call yourself anything if you are still rapping over your own lyrics on stage. It's because you don't memorize your stuff, so you don't want to sound like you like stutter 30 times. You don't trust your own. You don't have confidence enough to be live on stage. It's more like a show for you. You know what I mean? Like there's so many different ways and reasons I've seen these guys play live and trash their live set, and it's just like, oh my god, get off the stage, stop it. I practice constantly. Maybe it's from being a musician and not just a hip hop guy, because I mean you have to play an instrument repeatedly to be good at it to do it on stage. So to me, it translated hip hop. I mean, I have to memorize my lyrics. My lyrics don't play in the background when I play my live set. I do all my own shit live. The only thing that comes across in the speaker vocally would be like a layered section. Like, say I have a hook with a dual, okay, take Would You off the Volume of Secrecy. The hook has like this rapping part, but there's also a singing part that happens over like a dub. You know what I mean? I play the one of the other live in the background while I do the other layer live. You know what I'm saying? I don't do the whole hook, but that background section is still there while I rap the other part. But I don't. You're not going to hear my rap verses come across the loudspeaker or the PA system while I do. It's not happening. It's so annoying. I just hang my head anymore watching these hip hop guys do this stuff. And I'm just like, oh my. I played there was a competition I was in. It was a hip hop competition at Howlers before it got closed in Pittsburgh. And at the end of the competition, they told everybody that it entered. It was like 30 people that are in the competition. They told everybody. We only select 2 people to go head to head for the final for the winner for first place because everyone else rapped over their own lyrics. They're like, we're not even considering you. And everybody in the room, everybody in the bar, like looked at each other. They were like, what? They're like, oh yeah, we're not joking. Like, you want to take your craft serious, you're at a competition. You cannot rap over your own shit. They like tore into everybody. All the judges were like, this is embarrassing. The only 2 people that did it was me and this guy DJ Red, and he won. He has a little more of a likable like sound, you know what I mean? I'm just a little too aggressive and rocky I just wanted to do it to be involved in a competition. I thought it'd be really cool. So I did it for the experience. I was really excited. I even made like consideration for first place. But it was me and one other guy in the entire 30 attendant competition that rapped our stuff live. They were appalled. So my message to every new artist out there, you can do it where it's acceptable, fine, but please just practice your shit so you don't need to do that.
Yeah, because I've actually watched a couple of your lives, and what's the nice thing I think Patrick's doing a really, really great job at this is that all the artists that he's accumulating over at Brutal Business Entertainment, every time you guys go live, each one of you have your own unique sound that doesn't sound like shit. Because even for rock shows, you can go ahead and listen to one band on the album, and they sound amazing, and you're up for them. Then you hear them in person, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? Patrick is getting he has this selection process where he knows what you're going to sound like live as well as he does putting you on an album. So I think for not saying that you're not great either. I'm just saying that Patrick I think is picking you guys for not just because what you can produce and come out with album wise, but he's also planning for when we're able to all go live again and see concerts because I think he believes in each and every one of you guys that he was chosen to be part of breaking the BBE. Basically to go out there because I've watched some of your live performances and you guys should too. You can go over to YouTube and see them on the Mad Clock yourself. He sounds the same as if you put him on an album. There's like barely the only time you hear any type of separation is maybe because somebody in the tech thing fucked up, but that was like barely ever happens throughout the whole time he's singing. So, congrats to you on that because it's very hard to find artists that can also do albums and also do lives. And for some reason, Patrick has like this sixth sense, and you can do it. Demo Demon can do it. He can do it. And you guys are all, you got, Skies. And there's a whole bunch of artists that he's picking up now that can do what you guys are doing. And it's just amazing. So take that as a blessing from us that we're thankful that we know when your guys are able to go out and back and be live, that I think you're going to be even more further into the success that you wanted, that you didn't see coming.
Yeah, I totally agree. There's been a lot of like local promotions out my way that have gotten a bad name for having these guys that don't perform well live. They get all hyped up on YouTube or SoundCloud and they get the tracks out and there's 18,000 plays on SoundCloud. Badass. It was a great song, but you see the guy live and you're like, is that the same dude? Like you know what I mean? It's asshole. So you're like, wow. And then these promoters will grab these guys and keep them on their shows and like own them. Like, oh, you're my artist for my shows live because they did really good numbers. Well, sick, but I mean, you just ruined your promotional company. You stuck with a guy that can't play live. So I mean, and I've had issues where it just sounds like I'm fucking tooting my own horn, but I mean, I just have the experience. I've been doing live music in this area for 15 years. Whether it was acoustic, whether it was rock, whether it was hip hop. In this area, it's almost 15 years. So I have live experience like a motherfucker, and I wish people would just listen. I'm not being a dick. Like this is I'm trying to give you pearls here, man. So like it's happened where someone will invite me on a show and I'll see the roster like, oh, dude's headlining, and I'm like, okay, I'm not opening though. And the guy's like, well, we don't really, you've never been on the platform before, you never played for us. Well, I mean, I've given you proof that I can play live. Here's all my stuff. Like, I'm not gonna open. And then it's like, do I take the show because I want to play? Do I let it go because like I want to hold myself to a certain standard? I take some of these shows, I open, everyone freaks the fuck out because I put on a very entertaining show. And then they got these other guys and they all just sit in their chairs like, wow, well, the first guy was good. I don't want to be that guy anymore. But I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, well, I mean, I need to be headliner. So I really don't. I mean, I'm not better than anyone else as good as me. You know what I mean? And I'm not the only one that's good. I'm on a roster full of killers, man. They're full of just great artists. But these local guys need to, like, wake up a little bit. Like, okay, stop booking these bullshit artists that can't play live. You're making yourself look terrible.
Now, have you guys thought at Business Entertainment, have you guys thought of just doing straight on productions where you guys have for having like an online concert of just like the whole roster? Because I think that would be amazing.
Works. Yeah, it's definitely works. Pat had mentioned quite some time ago that we're trying to work towards that. I don't know much detail about it, but it has been in the works to mention. It's very capable because I mean, Demo has a bunch of equipment and other capabilities, and everyone else, I mean, we're all adept technologically to put it together. Just there's a lot of shit coming up at the beginning of the new year that I can't really say yet, but you all better pay attention.
Especially here at Breaking the Mold, we will definitely let you guys know as soon as we hear anything from Patrick. I talk to Patrick every time he gets time. That man is so busy for running the company, doing his own day job, doing his family, taking back in the studio. And for him, like he told you, Matlock has told you himself, Patrick is an amazing man. He reaches out to you if he cares about you, if you care about what you're doing, he's there for you. He will help support you. So for all you new artists and models and stuff like that, definitely go look over at Brutal Business Entertainment. If you want a real career in music or have people that guide you, or even if you have to pay for the knowledge, these are the people that actually go there. They're located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They are more the family like than any other company I've actually worked with that has their own label. So you got artists like Mad Clock coming on, just being straight up honest. So if you guys took offense to that, I'm sorry, but that's on you. For simple fact is, if you want to be that next rising star, you have to hear good and bad from artists like him that's already been there in order to succeed. Because that's just a form of growth. Because that's what we have to do. Also, as a podcast entertainment branch, we have to hear the negative, and then we have to fix it, because that's the only way for an artist or a person to grow is by learning.
Absolutely, Pat. When I first found Pat, and I was like, "Hey, I kind of like what you guys are doing. Here's some of my stuff." He texted me and he goes, "All right, how are you with constructive criticism?" I said, "I'm all for it because I want to grow. You're not gonna learn anything not being a sponge." And he was like, "Bet." So, and he gave me his list of, this is what I love about you, and this is what I think you could do better. Like, people need to fucking hear that, and no one wants to. Everyone wants to hear all the praise and how good they are, and you can spit bars, you can switch flows, cool. But you're off tonally, you can't rap on time. Like, people need to hear that shit. And the people that are hyping and gassing their friends up because they just make them friends feel good because you can, you want to, don't do that. Stop doing that. You're just going to make yourself look bad and your friend look worse when they put themselves in a situation where they're going to embarrass themselves. And you're doing your friend a huge disservice by doing that shit. Tell them, hey, don't discourage them. Don't be like, hey, you suck. Don't do that. Just give them avenues and ways to make themselves better.
So the next question we have for you, we went ahead and if anybody has any questions at any time over here on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, go ahead and type it in. I will definitely let him have your question. But we're going to go ahead and ask her, since COVID has happened, has it been more of a pain in the ass for you to get out there? Has COVID had good sides or bad sides for you?
Honestly, musically, this is the best year I've ever had. Insane to say. And that's because I released the album in April, The Old Me. I pretty much did that all on my own. Minus shout out to BFE Studios and Gerard and Brian Glosky to help me engineer the entire album. It was fantastic. I love the raw feel motion of that album. Definitely check him out, BFE Studios and Gerard. If you do an acoustic project or anything, that dude is an amazing analog engineer. Anyway, I released the album in April, had a lot of hype. It had over 5,000 plays on Spotify in just a few months. And then I got signed in October. Like, I've had a great year. You know what I mean? In terms of that, musically, I've grown exponentially this entire year, even through COVID. I just didn't let it stop me. You know, everyone was like, "Oh, music." I mean, yeah, venues got shut down. We couldn't play live shows, but it kind of created a survival of the fittest because you were going to sink or swim. You were going to find other ways, or you just weren't going to do it. You know what I mean? People needed entertainment at a time when they were locked in their houses. They were stuck doing nothing but staring at their screens. It was an opportunity that everybody as an artist should have been like, yes. Now you can't look away from me. You know what I mean? Like, now you're just stuck staring at your damn phone. Get those sponsored Facebook ads. Do shit on YouTube. Put content out, because that's all people have right now is this damn phone and their computers stuck at home. Okay, we all got 9 to 5s. We got jobs, but everyone is begging to do things because bars are closed down. Social events are closed down. Limited space for people. Venues are just done. Basement Transmissions is a local venue in the Erie area that has been a home for me for years now, and they haven't done shows but like social distance live show streams every once in a while, and it's just like, it's disheartening. People got upset. It's just, it like took people's wind out of their sails. They didn't want to do music anymore. It was so much harder for live shows. Yes, but like I said, you're either gonna sink or swim. Get merch online, start doing streams, live streams, you know, keep writing. You're stuck in the house, you might as well make more content. You just find the silver lining in everything. Everyone that made it through because they pushed through it.
And that's awesome to hear from you, because I know, like, we tried to start this off, and it went up when I lost my job back in March because COVID just took it. And I'm like, you know, everybody's saying a lot of these people that are in the music and art and stuff are just not being found, for one. And for two, there's artists that are not being heard now because, like you said, everything was just shutting down. Everyone was getting depressed. And I'm like, why not take the money the government's given me and try to turn it into something beautiful, so not only can we help ourselves but also help all the amazing talent like you guys, you know, over at Brutal Business and, you know, in the world, actually have a platform so their music can be heard. They can get reviews on it. They're you know, always being mentioned. We go our way when we actually do, like, did you like that artwork that we did for your promo?
I did, actually. It was super. I played it last week because it kept refreshing my newsfeed on Instagram. I was like, "Oh, check it out, baby! Look, check it out! Let me do it again." She was like, "Yes, honey, I saw it." I just get excited over that shit. I love it. It's super cool. I love people taking what I have, putting their own take on it, or doing whatever. I've had a few people, like, not, I wouldn't say remix my stuff, but I had one guy took one of my beats and he just put his own lyrics over it, and like he kind of, like, you know, messed with the production a little bit. I was like, it's cool, man. He wasn't gonna make shit off it. I didn't really care. It's just cool to see people be drawn to my stuff so much they want to create their own from it. You know what I mean? It's inspiration. I love it. Super cool.
So yeah, thank you for that. So we went ahead and made his promo of the pictures that he sent, and you know, our whole thing is about helping artists get out there, because I know even though a lot of artists were prepared how to use the internet and how to get out there, like most bands were ready, because like I don't know if you ever heard of Subs, but they were already ready. They were ready since last year. And then you end up getting, you know, Nine Stitch Method was finally, you know, they were trying to finish the, you know, come Patrick fully taking over, because Skippy Ickham was actually the original owner, and then he passed it off over to Patrick, which is not only the owner of Brutal Business Entertainment, he's also the front singer for Nine Stitch Method and the band C. And he also runs other parts of the entertainment, and then he also has a 9 to 5, and he also has a family. So, you know, him finding artists like you and you guys, I think that would actually lifts a lot off of him, because then he doesn't have to babysit you so much because you actually know what you're doing. So,
That was one of, like, he was like, I love how hard you promote yourself. You know, you're always putting yourself out there, but not in an annoying marketing way. Like, you try to connect with people and your fans. Like, you're self-sufficient. You know what I mean? And when we first started talking, it was like we talk about music, cool, but it was like talking about jobs, family, kids, like because me and him both do the 9 to 5 full music career, full family thing. Like it's a lot, you know. So we can like de-stress with each other. Like, man, this happened. I'd be like, man, this happened. You know, it's like you understand it, we get it. You know what I mean? So it's nice to have someone also know about this and know and feel what it's like to have this. You know what I mean? There's two sides of the coin. You want to do the music thing, but you have the family thing too. You got to balance it all. It's crazy.
So another question is that does it sometimes get hard to separate the three lives that you're trying to live at once?
To a degree, yeah. And you know, the more you want it, the more you'll figure it out. You know what I mean? There's gonna be mistakes made. There's gonna be time lost, or oh, you know, I was, you know, get schedules. You know what I mean? My wife's sometimes be like, hey, babe, you've been in the studio for a couple of days working hard. You know, we should have a family day. Gotta wheel me back a little bit, and that's cool. My responsibility to the rest of the family is to recognize those moments and go, yes, you're right. I've been working at it pretty hard. I could take a break. It was hilarious. The week I got signed, because I got signed on Halloween, the week after, I was just like so inspired and so incredibly like jacked on this fact that I got signed, and it hit me hard. I'm in the studio like trying to finish the album, like all the production, I'm seeing just playing stuff. My wife come up and she grabbed me on the shoulder. She goes, "You know, you just got signed, right?" I was like, "Well, yeah." She goes, "Cool, you can take a break then." I was like, "Yeah, you're right. I guess, yeah, yeah." She goes, "You did it. You like that was your goal. Like, give it a second." So it's my like I said, my responsibility to the family to keep this balance is to recognize those moments and go, yep, all right, I can take a break, you know, and ain't going nowhere. Because I recognize it in myself, but I'll just get into it. I'll be here for days. I mean, I'll just a pile of beer cans and fucking cigarette butts sitting in here, and I've gone out and do nothing but grab a sandwich, come pee, and then come back in the studio because I'm like, I want to get this shit wrote. Like this is my life right now. It's you gotta know when to step away for a few minutes, you know.
And so thank you, for actually telling us that because a lot of people don't understand that for artists like you that are out there trying to do this at home, it's kind of hard to balance, especially with life going on, people passing away, family events are
Uh,
happening, everything's at home now because it's not safe to send our kids to school. Everything's
right.
changing. So especially for artists, for you to have a constant drive, it has to get tiresome. So when it gets too much pressure, what do you do?
So I listen to music, and it's like it's always been my go-to, which is kind of like cliche almost in a way. But I also meditate. I do yoga. I'm pretty spiritual, like not in a God sense, more of a personal, like Wiccan sort of a direction, I guess you could say, pagan, as it were. But it's like I do those things to decompress and bring myself away from like the pressure that is. I want to get the song wrote. I got to get it promoted. I got to put these funds into it. I gotta make this budget so I can still pay my bills and put what money I need to into my music. Like it's a lot, you know what I mean? So when I sit there, I'm just like, oh my god, this is giving me a fucking headache. I can't do it right now. I need to go do something else because you pound your head so far, you start altering your state of patience, and then you start affecting other people with the fact that you're just not patient right now because you put too much on yourself. It's a learning process. You're not going to get it right overnight. Your partner has to be completely understanding and compensatory to what you're trying to do. It's not like, oh, I'm the man, so I'm just going to fucking do what I want. It's not, oh, well, you think you want to be a rapper, so, you got family. And this, it has to be a mutual, like, you have a dream. I support you, want to follow you, but I also need you in the goddamn kitchen for dinner. You feel me? Like you need to have that balance. It's cool, and people that can do that respectively are going to do it with the least amount of friction and resistance possible.
So actually, over here on Instagram, we actually got Mr. Dead Guy. I don't know if you heard of this artist, but you might want to look him up. It's
For
it,
sure.
yeah, yeah. I play a lot of his music, and he says he feels what you're saying in his bones. He works a 9 to 5, comes home and dad it up, and then he tries to do his best and to go head back into the music thing. So I see a lot of artists with such potential like you that that's why I want to ask how you deal with it when it just gets too much, because I know for me myself, I have 4 kids. And it's quiet, right? It's because my wife was doing what she can to make sure it's quiet, and so
Right.
she supports what we do, and she may be on a couple shows in the future. Um, but our whole thing is, and we're so blessed to have you on the show tonight, even though we've had technical errors and you moving across the screen, you still stay with us.
Mhm.
We appreciate that. But the biggest thing that we appreciate is when you artists actually are real with us and you tell us what's behind the scenes for you, especially how to deal with things mentally. Because I know doing this, and this is not even half of what you guys do for music, is just what the.
Oh yeah, it gets stressful. You put your mind to something outside of your normal daily like needs, necessity, family, work. Yeah, man, you need some serious dedication to fit this shit in on a regular basis, man. This isn't like you wake up one day with 4 kids and be like, I want to rap now. Like, okay, cool, but good luck. Like, you need to learn how to make them sacrifices. And okay, you know, little Timmy's got a fucking baseball practice on Saturday morning, and just because you drank Friday night with the boys in the fucking studio, mean you're gonna miss that day. You better get your ass to drunk fucking hungover ass to that baseball practice. You know what I mean? It's like you got to make the sacrifices. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can if you work your ass off and just fucking deal with the bullshit every step of the way, because you have to. You can't let you can't let your selfish needs get in the way, and you can't completely feel sad. And I deal with this just on a touch. Like, I'll get like this, oh man, I spent enough time with my family. You know, we done enough stuff, and and I'm like, I'm keeping up on their homework at school, and I'm like on the phone with teachers and shit while I'm on the forklift at work. Like, it gets to be a lot. And the kids come home, and I'm like, all right, you guys want to watch a movie? And they're like, Dad, it's like the 4th movie in a row. You can go, like, you're good, man. Go. Because I realized that I take time away from my family to do this. So, like always I said, that you need to have a system of checks and balances. If you can't check yourself, you need someone in your life that can. My wife is one of them where I can keep a pretty good, whip on myself, but sometimes she's just like, hey, dickhead, dinner. You know what I mean? Code word for I just need you out of this room for more than 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Well, you got Glosky B over here saying, hey, man,
hey, Brian Glad, that's BFE Studios. That's my engineer for the Old Me album. Yeah, Brian.
Nobody wants to ask you any questions over on Facebook or not. I guess they're nervous. But we do want to thank you for coming on tonight and giving us some time and behind what you go through. And we can't wait for that music video to be dropped, because as soon as it's dropped for the company that you're signed to, the Business Entertainment, we'll go ahead and blast that all over all our pages. Because that's what we do. We everything you guys do and achieve, we try to make sure the world sees. Because we've actually got our updates. We've been seeing our show alone. It's been seen as far as like Pakistan, Nigeria. We have a lot of fans out that way. So they're hearing your voice, and they're seeing you, and they're hearing everyone's music. And we're going further and further the more and more people actually enjoy what we're doing. So people like you help us, go a lot further towards our dreams. So I'm going to go ahead and let you go for the night. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. I hope you enjoy the rest of it. And hopefully you catch our new show on Thursday. We're still in the process of naming it, but basically I'm going to be freestyling on beats from different producers, just try to help people make beats get out there. So maybe if you want to, the show is open to anybody who wants to come on and freestyle as well. It's just something to help everyone relax.
I am all about that. Definitely tap me into that. I have a bunch of fun. I just get drunk and start spitting.
So I'll definitely let you know and send you an invite for that. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, and we'll be talking to you a little bit later.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Y'all have a great night.
So we're having a great show for we do apologize about the in and out of Maglock. That was for some reason, that's what Skype was doing to us tonight. So now we're going to go ahead and play that man's music. This is the song he did featuring Faith and Love, Kill, and Repeat.
Slowing it down, figuring that I might just have to figure it out. Drained every penny out of the account. Now it's just doing the whole how you like me now. Only thing you ever do is lie to me. Only language you speak is secrecy. Y'all thought I was deaf, but I can hear perfectly all the secrets you insist on whispering. Every time I think of it, I wish that it could be so different. I wish I knew exactly when we'd reach. try to leave, you keep on
pulling me back. We've been fussing, we've been fighting, we've been throwing up dirt. Every time we do this shit, I'm the one getting hurt. Tired of the games, I don't wanna play. Don't want you to leave, baby, I want you to stay. Tired of the pain, I don't wanna live this way. We just love, kill, repeat. We just love, kill, repeat. Lately I've been feeling you been switching it up. Half empty, half full, you be breaking the cup. Crazy thinking back to what we once was. We're damn near enemies, and it's all because I've been hurt, you've been hurt too. But I ain't the motherfucker that hurt you. Make yourself sick accusing me from your guilt. But I ain't never been that bitch, that ain't how the fucking bill. People always gotta bring down what's up above them. Bitches talking shit out of lust, they don't love them. So yeah, I be tripping, you forget who held it down. You could lose it all again, and next time I won't be around. Don't forget how it felt when we was winning. We still got time to work shit out, a new beginning. Don't lose the moon, always reaching for the sun. And get your ass back home, we not done. We fell off a little, but you know I gotta get back on track. Every time I try to leave, you keep on pulling me back. We've been fussing, we've been fighting, we've been throwing up dirt. Every time we do this shit, I'm the one getting hurt. Tired of the games, I don't wanna play. Don't want you to leave, baby, I want you to stay. Tired of the pain, I don't wanna live this way. We just love, kill, repeat. Just love, kill, repeat. Just love, kill, repeat.
Looking back now at a simpler time, can you remember when I would stay up with you all night? Talk about our lives and everything, it just felt right. Fall asleep on the couch, wake up daylight. Now I don't feel right. Never been a big fan of walking away. I wanna make it work and I'm gonna fucking stay. We fall apart now and it's a fucking waste. I'm not even sure how much more I can take, but I'm well aware of the mess that we make. If not commitment's just a broken promise, then how can you be sure that you even want this? How can I believe you when I can't even feel you? Yeah, I loved you back when we were kids, but now I'm not even sure that I know what love is.
Fell off a little, but you know I gotta get back on track. Every time I try to leave, you keep on pulling me back. We've been fussing, we've been fighting, we've been throwing up dirt. Every time we do this shit, I'm the one getting hurt. Tired of the games, I don't wanna play. Don't want you to leave, baby, I want you to stay. Tired of the pain, I don't wanna live this way.
We just love, kill, repeat.
So once again, that was Mac Luck, who we just had an interview with, that was featuring Faith Ann with their song "Love, Kill, and Repeat." That, like I told you, the music that they're coming up with is just amazing. The way that he made that sound, you could tell how the raw emotion behind it, and it was just beautiful. His music is very hypnotic sometimes. It really does catch you. So we're going to go on to how we normally do the rest of our show. We have a lot of amazing talent for you guys that anytime we do take your song request, if you are a newer artist trying to have your music seen and heard by all our fans and viewers, definitely go ahead and drop the link in the comment bar. We'll definitely try to make sure that your music is part of this. So moving on from there with Mag Black with his amazing music, we're actually going to go on to another newer artist that I think needs to start having a lot more attention to. This is Silica with their song "The One."
We talk about the GOAT here, the greatest of all time, Jordan. And you wanna get my tour, you gonna be the one-on-one.
I'm gonna be the one. They gon' feel it when the days come and see them run. Just to see me up on stage, but they gon' need a buzz. They'll call me fake, they'll call me basic. I ain't either one. I'm just gon' be the one. I'm just gon' be the one. They gon' feel it when the day come and see them run. Just to see me up on stage, but they gon' need a buzz. They'll call me fake, they'll call me basic. I ain't either one. I ain't either one. If you mentioning my name, then I'ma need the funds. I'ma push them to the edge and you gon' see them jump. Bitch, I make them meet the judge. Fuck you, you can eat these nuts, eat them up. You and you and you, this is a 301. And I'm like, ayo, ayo, ay. I'ma make them fade. something, but they gon' hesitate. On top of my day ones, on lock with the cadence. I ain't got no patience. They flock to the stages. It gon' happen if I say so. On the block like J-Lo. Cold hard, I stay froze. Cause they switch like I change clothes. I'ma show the 9, watch them light up. I'ma take they bride in a nightgown. God showed a sign, said it's my time now. And there ain't no doubt in my mind now. Bitch said I'm gon' be the one. They gon' feel it when the day is coming. See them run just to see me up on stage, but they gon' need a buzz. They'll call me fake, they'll call me basic. I ain't either one. I'm just gon' be the one. I'm just gon' be the one. They gon' feel it when the day come and see them run just to see me up on stage, but they gon' need a buzz. They'll call me fake, they'll call me basic. I ain't either one. I ain't either one.
So once again, if you guys missed the beginning of the show, we had an amazing interview with Matt Glock himself, who is actually over here live on Instagram with us watching the rest of the show. We just got done playing his song right after the interview, which was Love, Kill, and Repeat featuring Faith. And that man has amazing talent. Does definitely hear a lot more of his music because he does, like I said, he even heard straight from his own mouth that he does other music as well. His acoustic songs that you'll end up hearing at we will be having our show, The Underground. We do apologize once again for that last week. There was a death of family and it struck me pretty hard. So, kudos to Matt. Even through all our technical difficulties, he still stayed with us and stayed true to the interview. Thank you so much for your time. And then we also want to say thanks for everyone out there watching, because without you, the show wouldn't go on. As we can see that we're actually growing, we have artists submitting their music. Hey, please give us a review. So that's amazing to actually have people consider us. We've been called the heroes throughout the week by helping different people, and it's just amazing because we don't count ourselves as heroes. We just count, we count ourselves as a stepping stone for anyone who has it in their heart that they should be doing something. Because that's our goal here at BTMX, to be able to connect everyone throughout the world, no matter who you are, where you're from, what your talent is, what your beauty's about. If you have your mindset to it, we'll back you 100%, as long as it's not tearing down somebody else. That's the only rule we have, is we don't do ignorance towards each other, because we're about building humanity, not about tearing it apart. And to be able to be a part of a lot of these artists' lives, and them, accepting us and having us to be, some of their time, is just, a definite positive for us. But it's also a definite positive for you guys as well, who's watching and, supporting what we're doing, because then you get the chance to not only get secrets of the trade, but you also get to hear about each individual that you say that you like in person. So all the fans of Mac watching who didn't know him personally now got to hear about some of his struggles, what he's been through. And we have other artists throughout our other shows throughout the week that we do that for. And we help model, like you see the models up on the screen right now. Then we're actually, when we mean by if you want to support us, we go ahead and you choose 5 photos, whatever you're comfortable with. We go ahead and make part of our promos. We put them up on the screen for the world to see you. We tell everyone your names, just like tonight. This will be the last time you see these two sets of photos. The first one model that you see right there with the devil horns, that is the beautiful Stan Lee, which is also a host. She's having a rough day, and she has all the love from BTMX definitely on her side, so she's just stuck in her head. A lot of people are, and that's why we also created this, so people can have an extension and be able to escape from it and enjoy other people's talents. And then when we have interviews, be able to relate to their stories or get the motivation to come out with their own talents. And then at the bottom, as always, the Miss Beautiful Wolf Mother, who is actually a gamer / cosplayer. You can catch her a lot over on Instagram. And she's a major sponsor since day one, like Samuel was. So we want to say thank you to everyone who's become a part of our company or trying to make sure we succeed. So moving forward from that amazing song, The One by Silica, we're going to keep going on and move on to the next more artists I found for you guys. I would like to hear your guys' opinions and see how much you like them. This is NCDS with their song Good Enough.
tell you that I love you, I tell you that I need you, I tell you that I don't understand. I'm sorry I'm not good.
Late night and I can't think, late night and I can't breathe. Late night and I don't understand what you want from me. I can't come clean.
When I'm done at the road, I can't read your mind. I don't get a clue. You're just wasting my time.
I'm packing my bags and I get in the car and I drive to escape, so I go real far. And I'm missing your calls cause you're blowing me up. And I don't wanna talk cause you ain't showing love. And I want some peace, we both had enough. We just want space, I can tell that we're stuck. I'm hating myself cause you wanted me to. I'm saying I'm done but I don't think we're through. You treated me bad, I don't know what to do. I'm turning back now cause I'm thinking of you. I tell you that I love you, I tell you that I need you, I tell you that I don't understand. I tell you that I love you, I tell you that I need you, I tell you that I don't understand. I'm sorry I'm not good enough. I'm sorry I'm not good enough. I'm sorry I'm not good enough. Again, it doesn't make sense. We fighting again, it's getting intense. We're fighting again, it's all in your head. You thinking I'm cheating, you think it's your friend. You screaming again, you hurting me more. I'm trying to leave, you're blocking the door. I'm leaving the room, going back to bed. You thinking I'm lying and I need to confess. You're hitting me now, I'm holding you down. The cops getting called cause they're getting too loud. We all know how it goes, we all know how it goes. I get on the floor, arresting me now. I go to jail, you bail me out. I tell you that I love you, I tell you that I need you, I tell you that I don't understand. I tell you that I love you, I tell you that I need you, I tell you that I don't understand. I'm sorry I'm not good enough. I'm sorry I'm not good enough.
So once again, that was an amazing song. That song was called Good Enough, and it was by NCDS. Definitely go look them up over on YouTube. They are on SoundCloud and Spotify. Another great artist that actually dropped a CD that normally her music will be on the underground would be Rozikel. Rozikel just dropped a CD. You definitely want to go over to Rozikel. She Shuckin' Head Entertainment. Definitely go look them up. They have a lot of new music coming out, especially with Ritual of Ether as well, dropping new music. And then we also have artists like the next artist I'm going to be playing for you. He's going to be dropping 2 more singles within the next month or so, especially for you guys. And then an album next year. You're actually going to be able to catch his videos very soon. This is Professor Valine with his song Big Stick Stone.
Get money, fuck em.
All about the ducket. I can kill a song quicker than you can kick the bucket. I'm a big stick stunner. All about the money. So when they come to go flow, you better keep it 100. You can't touch it. All about the ducket. I can kill a song quicker than you can kick the bucket. I'm a big stick stunner. All about the money. So when they come to go flow, you better keep it 100.
If it's Professor, every punch gon' come in with a kick. My brother Maverick, he twist faster than the hero flip. Rudo arrow, you just confused, don't get politely killed. Yeah, we stand tall and then look down and simply stand on stilts.
Real stick stunning, real big money. Chase a couple grand while the bill's still running. Busy as a beehive, cause I deal kill honey. So I get there every minute like a steel mill, homie.
Better stay on my chips till my pockets about to rip. Cause my wallet kinda fit, make money like it's kinda fit. Do the shit, I'm the shit, partner be the opposite. So just put that pistol down, you know you wouldn't pop a zip. Proactive with dope tactics and love with the flow. Son, don't need me some more money, why? Just cause it's more fun. I stay with the cannons, some people say I'm a showgun. All I got is my dough and my flow and crack 'em for no one.
You can't touch it, all about the ducats. I can kill a song for good and you can kick the bucket. I'm a big stick stunner, all about the money. So when it comes to dough flow, you better keep it 100. You can't touch it, all about the ducats. I can kill a song for good and you can kick the bucket. I'm
I'm a big stick stunner, all about the money. So when it comes to overflow, you better keep it honey.
We don't play games, we just make bang. Better make way, straight like the gate breaks. I be trying to maintain with these people, be trying to be the same. Make it run it, go and take it, run it, remember work. This is how we roll up in the sticks, we keep it colder than the fridge, deep in the notice where we is. Man, what you know about that click, they get that dough. We stacking chips, killing the flow, trap out the crew, come from the O, I represent. Ain't nobody telling me nothing, motherfuckers always gotta be running. We the big sticks done, this we run it, so you know. Got my temperature high like an oven, we coming and bringing destruction, thinking that you ballin', but busted like you broke and you don't spit. I'ma keep on flowing till the day I'm gone. Yeah, I'm on my way into the pinnacle. Try to do my thing and I ain't never been wrong. When it come to getting dough, you already know what's my money belongs. Spend it everywhere we go. You can catch me riding crew cut on these dirty dirt roads, hawking up a blunt of drove.
You can't touch it, all about the cookies. I can kill a song good and you can kick the bucket. I'm a big stick stunner, all about the money. So when it comes to overflow, you better keep it honey. You can't touch them, all about the ducats. I can kill a song good and you can kick the bucket. I'm a big stick stunner, all about the money. So when it comes to overflow, you better keep it honey.
Big stick total, 30 rounds of hundreds when I buy my phone ring, guaranteed it's 100. Wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth with 100. If I know one thing, I got a taste for that money. Bitch, there's money on my floor, got your bitch tiptoeing. Got your auntie at my door for that caviar, she jonesing. That crack so pure, have you speaking Spanish floating, bitch, that sack so pure. That shit ain't laced with nothing, it your back so pure. No cut, cause it's potent, bitch, I got the antidote to get your trap house jumping. I don't fuck with these niggas, they gon' feel like it's just traffic. Once the practice on saying numbers for them break like plastic. Disrespecting the games where they real but they act. Can't fool me, I live the life of a savage. Stand 10 toes in the streets like 80s crack. Catch me on the corner, kicking flow strapped up like Gucci bag. Going bang, shit sweet to easy treat, decapitated in the body bag. Granny mama, auntie, sister got the blues so sad. It's supposed to fake exterminate the rats on rap shit. Love on nobody but that money bring me happy.
So once again, that was Mr. Professor Valine. So you can go over and catch him on SoundCloud. We'll actually go ahead and post that up with some of our artwork, so you guys can go over and check him out yourself. He has lots of music on there. He does apologize for having nothing new. That will be coming out very shortly with my help of BTMX. So we're gonna go ahead and do one request for the night, because nobody's talking so far. So the request we're going to actually do is for Ashlyn. So one of our biggest fans that we have over on Instagram. And her birthday is in 2 days now. 2 days. But so we're going to go ahead and play her request. This is by Netflix, and this is her song, I'll Be Fine.
I swear that I'll be fine, yeah. Looking for a sign, yeah. Always in my mind, I've been losing track of time, and I miss when I was 9, yeah. Everything was fine, yeah. Think I'll be alright, I just need you by my side. But I swear that I'll be fine, yeah. Looking for a sign, yeah. Always in my mind, I've been losing track of time, and I miss when I was 9, yeah. Everything was fine, yeah. Swear I'll be alright, I just need you by my side, yeah. I've been through some harder days, things that I've let get away. I'm just sick of feeling things, don't know what forever brings. I've been losing everything, I'm my own worst enemy. Feeling like I'll never be anything I wanna be. I've been through some changes, hope to rearrange it. Flipping through the pages, playing different stages. Everything I'm chasing, don't know why I'm chasing. Leave without a trace and still don't know my place yet. Lately I've been thinking maybe I can just be alright. Find something I love and maybe I can make my own life, and I can get it just right. If I could get it just right. Lately I've been thinking maybe I can just be alright. Find something I love and maybe I can make my own life, if I can get it just right. I swear that I'll be fine, yeah. Looking for a sign, yeah. Always in my mind, I've been losing track of time, and I miss when I was 9, yeah. Everything was fine, yeah. Think I'll be alright, I just need you by my side. But I swear that I'll be fine, yeah. Looking for a sign, yeah. Always in my mind, I've been losing track of time, and I miss when I was 9, yeah. Everything was fine, yeah. Swear I'll life, it gets crazy. Had those little moments I never thought I would make it. Had to take my thoughts and figure out how to change them. All the bad ones, eventually I erased them. Had to take my mind and figure out how to own it. Everything designed to make my life how I want it. Now I'm doing fine, I plan to keep it all going. Now I'm doing fine, I plan to keep it all growing, yeah. Lately I've been thinking maybe I can just be alright. Find something I love and maybe I can make my own life. And I can get it just right. If I could get it just right. Lately I've been thinking maybe I can just be alright. Find something I love and maybe I can make my own life. If I can get it just right. I swear that I'll be fine, yeah. Looking for a sign, yeah. Always in my mind, I've been losing track of time. And I miss when I was 9, yeah. Everything was fine, yeah. Think I'll be alright, I just need you by my side. But I swear that I'll be fine, yeah. Looking for a sign, yeah. Always in my mind, I've been losing track of time. And I miss when I was 9, yeah. Everything was fine, yeah. Swear I'll be alright, I just need you by my side. I just need you by my side, yeah.
So it's great to go ahead and put a request. It was actually for episode over here on Instagram. Thank you guys for showing up tonight. So before we go ahead and end the show, I'm going to go ahead and let you know how the schedule is going to be. So we do have shows all day tomorrow, but the 3 o'clock show is going to be postponed due to some family matters. So we do apologize that show will not be carried on until next week, which will be at, it's called Dreamscape. You're going to see our art. You're definitely going to see me drawing during the show on Thursday, because that'll be, we're going to enjoy great beats by amazing artists at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll definitely have the show made up tonight so you guys know what it is, and you guys can go ahead and share it around and be about that. And it's basically going to be an open show where I go ahead and introduce you to, producers who's making beats that ain't really famous, and we go ahead and we put the beat up and we go ahead and freestyle. It's not only going to be me, but we're also going to have Damien from Brittany. He's going to be on there as well. He's going to be my co-host, and actually might end up being the full host for that show. We'll see how that goes. We also want to give a big shout out to our new person who took over Twisted Gardens and made it back to its original concept. So if anybody who wants to know more about Wicca and that type of religion and spirituality, you'll be able to check that out every Saturday at 10 p.m. with Foxy herself. But tomorrow we also have our weekly madness back. It happens every other week, so you'll get to see Silhouette Death and what he has done in his production for us, especially just for you guys. And that is at 6:30 p.m. And then right after that show, it will lead us straight into Parent Share, which is 8 p.m. Eastern Time every Wednesday. That show is basically an emotional support group where we go ahead and it's a mixed genre show, because not everyone can talk, and a lot of people use music like I do. So we'll have a phenomenal show for you then, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And thank you guys so much for your time. Thank you for watching. Sorry about the technical errors tonight. That will be addressed. The show could have been a little bit better on my part, but we did have a great interview. We got to hear behind the scenes for an amazing artist. So definitely go check out Maglock right now. We'll actually keep his promo up so you guys remember who he is, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Definitely get feedback if you'd like to hear more from him, or if you're not from around where he is. And I believe he's in Pittsburgh. In Pennsylvania. So if when the COVID's over, give him a play. Go talk to him. Tell him where you want to hear his voice at, where you would like to see him live. Definitely for the newer artists trying to collab and get your name out there. Talk to the artists from Brutal Business Entertainment. They're all phenomenal people. Patrick only picks. And if you don't know who Patrick is, he is the owner of Brutal Business Entertainment. He's actually the lead singer for Nine Stitch Seath. But he picks amazing people to work with. So if that is your mindset and you want to work hard and you think you got something that you want the world to hear, definitely go over and talk to Brutal Business Entertainment. That goes for models as well. Go talk over to Miss Katie or Miss Red. One of the two will tell you some great tips need to improve on yourself, or of how you become part of their business. Just remember that we're here to help everyone have the support that they need. So thank you guys so much, and we normally do a lot of music, but we had a great interview today. So I'm going to go ahead and end that note and tell you thank you guys for all tuning in to Unleashing the Best here at Breaking the Mold, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at our first show at 6:30 p.m. with Silhouette Death.